welcome to the What If Ask AI channel. On this channel, we ask multiple AI services what if questions. The what if questions was made back in my childhood when I was asked to put all my questions in a binder because my family was tired of me asking them all the questions I had in mind. Now, later in the future, I'm taking the questions I made from my childhood and asking the AI services the questions and reviewing and judging their responses. I hope you enjoy this channel. Welcome back to the What If Ask AI channel. And today we are looking at this question: what if there was a dinosaur in your house? And the AI services I'll be using for today is ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Perplexity, and Meta AI. And as always, I have two questions from two friends of mine. I asked them a question, they gave me an answer, and I used this to help the AI service know exactly what I'm looking for. So let's see what ChatGPT will reply with. Okay, so I asked ChatGPT that question and it said, well, that would definitely be surprising and a little scary, and I'd imagine your house would never be the same again. Yeah, I think so too, ChatGPT. I think so too. Now let's see what Copilot says, asking the same question. Copilot's answer is, I'd say that would be quite a surprise and you definitely have an unforgettable day. I totally believe that as well. I totally believe that as well. Alright, I asked the question to Gemini. Gemini gave me a pretty long response. I'm going to read it. That would certainly make an eventful afternoon. Depending on the size of the dinosaur, my reaction and yours would likely range from fascinated to running to the exit. Here's how that scenario might play out based on the guess. The guest profile. If it's a... y'all gotta forgive me here. I don't know how to say any of these dinosaur names. Compsognathus. It would be like having a very fast, slightly bitey chicken running around your living room. You'd probably spend the hour trying to catch it with a laundry basket. Okay, I mean that kind of sounds harmless to me, but let's keep going. If it's a velociraptor, I would suggest you stop texting me and find a very sturdy room with a locking door immediately. Okay, so that one's pretty hostile. And then if it's a Brachiosaurus, you don't have a house anymore. I like that. You don't have a house anymore. You'd have a very expensive pair of dinosaur boots and a lot of broken drywall. My role in the chaos. Since I live in the digital world, I'd be safe from the snapping jaws, but I'd be happy to help you. 1. Identify the species based on the color of its scales or the shape of its teeth. 2. Look up local animal control, though they might need a much bigger truck. And 3. Draft a very interesting insurance claim for prehistoric property damage. It would definitely be a world record breaking day for your social media feed. I totally agree with that, Gemini. Thanks. Now let's see what Perplexity says. Okay, so Perplexity, the answer that it gave me was, well, that would be both exciting and terrifying. I'd probably try to keep calm and hope it doesn't step on the furniture. Depending on... yeah, the furniture is expensive. So thanks for that answer, Perplexity. And then Meta AI. Okay, OMG, a dinosaur in your house, that'd be wild. I think the first priority would be figuring out what kind of dinosaur it is. Is it a herbivore or a T-Rex that's gonna chomp on some couches. Depending on the size, we might need to evacuate the premises or just, provide some snacks and see how it does. What do you think? Would you want to keep it as a pet or try to send it back to the Cretaceous period? Yeah, that's a very good question. Okay, so those are all the responses from the AI services. I will say ChatGPT, Copilot, and also Perplexity kind of gave a simple, straightforward answer. And then Gemini and Meta AI kind of gave things to think about, or like kind of went a little bit deeper into it, depending on what type of dinosaur it was and some other things. So that was really good. Okay, so this is my ranking of the best response to the worst, and this is just my opinion. But I'm gonna say the best response was Meta AI because it wasn't like too long, like the Gemini one, but it also wasn't a little too short. Even though technically the two questions from my friends, they're really short, but I do like it gave me things to think about. So the reason I ranked this as number one or the best was because it asked if it was a herbivore or a T-Rex. So it gave me that to think about. And then also it asked, what do you want to do with the dinosaur? So I thought that those two were very good things to think about. And then my second one would be Gemini, and that's because of the response it gave. And so the reason I didn't rank it the best was, in my opinion, it was a little bit too technical. So like these dinosaur names, I didn't really know what they were. And then again, I'm not a historian, or I don't study any dinosaurs or anything like that. So that it just wasn't, for me, it was a little bit too technical. But I do like how they said things that you could do to help you in the event that this really did happen. So that's why I rank Google Gemini the second out of all 5 of the AI services. And then my third pick was Perplexity, and that's just because it said, well, it's going to be exciting and terrifying, and then it also just gave me a tip to keep calm and hope it doesn't step on the furniture. So that's why I named it 3, because it just said to keep calm and hope that it doesn't really do anything. And then my fourth pick was Copilot, and the reason I picked Copilot as the fourth and ChatGPT as the fifth is because here it says like you would definitely have an unforgettable day, and then Copilot says, I imagine your house would never be the same again. But here, like, this would be an unforgettable day, and I felt like that was a better response than your house would never be the same again. But they kind of do say the same thing, like it's surprising. They both use the word surprise, so that's why they're really close. Alright, so yeah, to go through it again, Meta AI was my first pick, followed by Google Gemini, followed by Perplexity, then Copilot, and then ChatGPT. Alright, and thank you for listening, and if you have your own response or your own ranking on the responses that the AI services did, feel free to share in the comments below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.